This is just going to be a quick video regarding the demo. So basically how to use it, and I have a explanation that I want to provide that might help you kind of understand more so the use of this plugin. Because from some of the questions that I've received on the marketplace page, I feel like some people are getting the wrong impression by comparing it maybe to other kits. So to start, I'll go ahead and show you how to use the plugin, or not use the plugin, but use the demo, get it so you can play it, and then we'll go from there. So obviously in the description, there's going to be a download link. You can go ahead and download it. It's just a compressed document. Right click, extract it using WinRAR or whatever comes with Windows. I can't remember what it's called. And you'll be met with this folder. Open that on up, and you'll find the game's executable. You can go ahead and launch that, and you have what you need. So obviously there's all the hotkeys on the left. So you press F2 to go to the night map, press F1 to go to the day map. I for customization, you're walking, jumping, sprinting, and all that kind of stuff. You're aiming, everything on the left side. I don't really need to explain it. It's self-explanatory. Anyways, what I wanted to say. So basically, here's kind of the rundown of what this plugin is. So this is kind of hopefully going to help you decide whether or not it's right for you. So I'm going to have more videos kind of going more in depth with this, but to sum it up, this is supposed to more or less be kind of a framework to build upon. So one of my Discord members that have it have actually described it in my opinion, a very good way. So as you can kind of read through here. So for example, like things like the projectiles, for example, those are not set in stone. They're meant to be replaced. So yeah, I've provided my own, but as you can see here, it's set up so you work with Easy Ballistics, adding all your ballistic effects and all that fun stuff very easily. It's meant to kind of be, well, like it says here, this is less like a kit, like what you would normally see, like a lot of the others on the marketplace, whereas this is instead more like a foundation and a framework to build with, because that was literally the purpose. So, for example, like the shooting and reloading and all that kind of stuff that you see right here. This was not initially implemented. Well, let me rephrase that. It was initially implemented into the plugin and written entirely in C++ behind the scenes, but I have found that that would kind of farther restrict the use of this plugin. So I ended up stripping all that out after quite a good bit of thought, and instead I just added a bunch of functions that would go through and help you achieve shooting and reloading and all that kind of stuff. So like there's a lot of helper functions that you can call. I have some tutorials on those, just briefly covering some of them. I will have more later on that'll go again more in depth. But it's meant to be built upon. So anything that's going to be project specific, like for example, reloading. If you want to have a system that handles reloading like Tarkov, where you have actual magazines like Tarkov. So you have the ammo in the magazines are actors, you can drop magazines and all that. You have that ability to do so. I provide my own magazine class, and that's actually what you see here visually. These are actual, that's a separate actor. And if you want to go through and make a Call of Duty style system, you can do that too. You don't need to use my magazines. They're not going to be needed. But like there's helper functions inside the magazine, for example, that help you set its state. So if you drop the magazine, it will set the state, it will enable its collision, it will go through and make it visible. If you want to put it in your rig to where it's not going to be visible, you can set that as well. Like it's already there for you. Things like, for example, like getting estimated zeros. So for example, if you wanted to have, let's say you set it up and let's say this is 100 meters. Well, you would plug in that you want your setup to be shot at a default range of 100 meters. Well, that's already handled. So I shoot, obviously it's a little bit low because I have it set at 100 meters and this is too short, so the projectile is slowly going upwards. So if this was farther and actually at 100 meters, it would meet where the crosshair is. But that's what that's there for. You have basic things like zeroing. So as you can see, it's kind of hard to see. I'll put it right up here flush. As I zero in, it works as if it does in real life, and it's going in mil-radian increments. So that kind of stuff. We have some basic weapon collision, which this is still being worked on. There have been some issues reported that I've found as well, and that other people have reported on. You have your left-hand IK, so left hand follows the attachment. If you really wish to use that, you have adjustable stock. So here's the stock all the way collapsed in. You can see where I'm at on the optic. Let me find the corner. I slide it on back. as you can see, now I'm way too far from the optic. Things like the, what do you call it? The eye box of the optic, those are all simulated. So as you can see, you have the scope shadow and all that going on. Like, same thing with the lasers. You can switch between reticles on your red dots. You can set their brightness. Like, everything there that you want to build to use, there is most likely going to be a function for it for that type of part. So again, this is meant to be a framework that you use. So like changing laser colors and all that, using your flashlight, that's all written there for you. It's a framework. It's not necessarily supposed to be a kit that you buy and just tweak some variables like described in there, like for the reasons that are actually explained right here. So like you buy, insert almost any kit here, and you're basically modifying it as an example project. But underneath, it's really hard to make it really yours without scrapping almost everything in the kit and defeating the purpose of it. That is something that was key that I'm trying to avoid. So if you want to make an FPS game in the lines of a tactical shooter and you want the game to be yours, that is my goal. So this person flat out nailed the point of this plugin on the head, like perfectly. So yeah, that was just my 6-minute disclaimer. So again, I'll have more information on all this kind of stuff. I want to have videos going kind of over bringing in your own firearms and stuff like that, like from scratch, and showing you how to set those up and showing more in lines of what some of the helper functions do. I have a brief overview on some of them, but nothing that is super in-depth. I do have that tutorial series on how to use this that covers pretty much every feature, but it does not cover every helper function. And even that alone was a little bit over 3 hours in length. So yeah, got high and low port, and that's all done procedurally as well. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Again, the link to this will be down in the description below, so you can grab it and play around with it too, and yeah, do whatever you want. So anyways, I'm gonna hop off now. I've rambled quite long, and yeah, that's all. So I'll see you in the next video of whatever I do, because if you don't know already, I do a lot of tutorials. So adios.